How we doing, Bear Nation? Rob Napoli here, and today I wanted to talk about something that has I've seen a lot happen, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people about this lately. And the topic of conversation is why I took a step back from platforms like LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn, after I wrote a book on personal brand. Earlier this year, back in January, my book, The Social Soul, launched. And leading up to that, and even after that, was a big push for me on across all the socials and, getting my posts out weekly. I was doing a lot of video content. There was a lot of things. I was ranking high on the algorithm on LinkedIn, and I was growing quickly on Instagram as well. So it's really excited about the continued growth. But as this kind of the spring wore on for me, um, I realized that there was a lot of toxicity that was happening on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people talking about this or talking about that. You're seeing everyone has like proud to be promoted to this or starting a new job here or here's this. And then you had some people that would be like, I'm never going back to an office again. If any company thinks that workers need to be in office, they're crazy. Um, but there's two sides to every story, right? Some people, yeah, want to work remote and never have to step foot in an office again. Me, on the other hand, I'm a social guy. I want to be back in the office. I love taking the subway into the city. That's when my brain turns on. I do some of my best work. Um, I do my best thinking and best ideas, and action comes when I'm in motion. And so that toxicity of this or that in regards to we had the great resignation. Everyone was leaving because companies weren't treating them right and they were going to find their dream job to 6 months later having a lot of layoffs because tech companies evaluations were so um, overvalued that they had to cut costs, and that's through labor, right? Scaling, we like to think about company scaling as adding headcount. That's spending money. I saw a great post on LinkedIn about this earlier. Somebody laid that out. Scaling is, can you grow the company, adding headcount, but continue to create your LTV or your contract value, sales, revenue, whatever your business is, can that continue to grow? That your amount of people that you hire should be relative to the speed at which you're growing. Now, you got to spend money to make money, right? Growth, growth, growth. We all, if you haven't seen We Crash on Apple TV, go watch it. It is a very cautionary tale about why we need to stop thinking that scaling equals headcount, right? So we saw this craziness happen. And through all of this and through all of the announcements and people doing this and people doing that, and they're speaking at this conference and on that stage and on this panel, on that podcast, all of that toxicity and all of that overload really took a toll on my own imposter syndrome. This year, I've been growing the podcast, really focused on that. I just written a book. The book came out the day of my grandfather's funeral, which was a really tough time for that all to happen, but it is what it is and life goes on. Plus, I have some other great projects happening, but it just felt like, and I sold my company earlier this year. So having all these things that I'd done, it just felt like I wasn't moving fast enough, or I wasn't, I wasn't keeping up pace. And so I needed to walk my talk a little bit. So I decided to take a step back and say, you know what? I am where I am, and I am who I am. And that this is how it's meant to be. And I'm growing and building and making things happen on my time, at my pace, and my successes are my own. And it's really easy to get kind of stuck in our own mind comparing and playing that comparison game with others, right? And we always like to, compare, well, it's too late for me to do that, or I'm told to do this, or I don't, I've missed my chance. Fuck that. You always have a chance. You always have an opportunity, right? Life is not linear. Time is not linear. We should grow and do the things that you want to do. So I really wanted to kind of come on and share that I made that conscious effort. And it's okay to take a step back from social. It's okay to take a step back from going out or doing these things. If you're feeling overwhelmed and overloaded, it is okay to take a step back and know that things are happening to you at the time they're supposed to happen. Now you have to go work for it, right? That doesn't mean that you can just sit back and say, like, "Oh, Rob said this, and it'll come to me." No, you have to go make it happen, right? You have to believe it, feel it, see it, and go work towards it. But if it doesn't come instantly, it's okay. It takes time, and it takes failure, and it takes putting one foot in front of the other. So I wanted this episode to be, a reminder, not only to myself but to others, that it's okay. Don't play that comparison game. Keep building. As entrepreneurs, it's even more easy to get caught up in all the craziness and companies scaling. This company got funding, and that company got funding, and this person got promoted. It's okay. Take that step back and continue doing you, because you will get there. You will do the things that you need to do to make shit happen. And that is powerful. And it's powerful to know when you're feeling overloaded, when you feel that imposter syndrome creeping, and to take a step back and have a conversation with yourself. I'm here because this is me. I'm here because I made this happen. I'm here because I am unique. And I always tell people, you are unique because no one else on this earth walks your journey. That's what makes you uniquely you. So own that, believe in that, live that truth. And let that kind of help take you and carry you through those times of imposter syndrome, those times of toxicity. And one thing I hope to see continue happen more on social is, we post out all these great things. Remember, showing our authentic social soul is all about the good and the bad. It's showing everything. It is talking through challenges and experiences, the good and the bad. I've been seeing some people do that, talking about times they failed and what they've learned from that. And that's great. Continue to do more of that. Be human. Not every day is success after success after success, right? We do have failures. We have pain. We can't feel joy. We can't be happy. We can't experience success without feeling a sense of loss or failure. So let this pod be a reminder that you're not the only one going through it. That imposter syndrome is real, and the toxicity of social and the way social can overload you when you start playing the comparison game can cause that. So don't let it. Know that it's okay to take a step back. Know that it's okay to go at your own pace. So don't play the comparison game. Remember who you are and why you're doing what you're doing, and continue to go make things happen. So I appreciate you, Bear Nation. You have a forever supporter in me. If I can ever be of service, please let me know. If you could, please subscribe to the show, like us, give us 5 stars, do all those things. Write a review, even better, helps make the show continued growth. I really appreciate you all. Until next episode, stay well and rise up. Bear Nation, thanks for listening to the Bare Necessities of Entrepreneurship. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review.